All right, folks, this right here
Oops, winning.
is a tactical ammo box from Harbor Freight, but what's inside of it is actually a little travel-sized film chemistry kit. And there's actually a double reel tank in here, so you can develop 2 rolls of 35 at once, or 1 roll of 120, however you see fit. Some of you might be thinking like, why does he need a travel film kit? And it really was born out of our American summer tour back in 2024. I'll leave a playlist down below. We covered like 13,000 miles that summer. I bought a 1996 Ford Coachman RV, and yeah, we were doing it. Anyways, playlist down below if you want to check out some of those mini docs. But that's kind of how that idea was born. You can't have both black and white and color in here at once, because it's just too small for that. So you will have to choose if you want to go black and white or color. Right now it is set up for black and white because I'm only just now getting into developing my own color film. Anyways, so at the top here, you pop this open, and in here is just a lot of little essentials, right? Like the first one being clips, right? So you're gonna need clips. A lot of my clips are currently literally hanging up 3 rolls of black and white Eastman XX right now. So that's what's going on. Most of the clips aren't in here because they're being utilized. Hang your film down, squeegee with your fingers or the squeegee, which we also have a squeegee up top in here if you are so inclined to use one. And then just put another, you guys know how to hang film, right? Okay. But yes, there's clips in there. I have a little baby toothbrush in here. I use this to clean the film reels every time I'm done. I think it's one of the reasons why I love developing my own film. It's like the whole thing is like a meditation practice. You know, it's like kind of nice having to just sit there and do nothing but, you know, invert the tank and listen to the clock tick. But I do love to clean the reels really well. So that's why I have a little toothbrush in there. I have little silica gel packets that helps keep the inside of this thing kind of free of moisture. Because, you know, there's chemicals in their own individual units, as you'll see, but there's still, you know, there's moisture in the box. Just random crap in here. A bottle opener in case, you know, you let the liter go all the way in your canister. Try not to do that, you know, but if that happens, you can just pop it off. Or I also even have in here a little cheapo film retriever tool. I have a much better one that I carry around in my bag. But yeah, just, you know, random accessories up here. Okay, so let's open the top and I'll show you what we have in here. The one nice thing about it, they have a really pretty decent latch on the side there. Keeps it nice and tight. It does come with like a little shelf, but I just junked that out because you're not gonna be able to put the bottle, like 1,000 milliliter bottles in here with that shelf in there. So you're just gonna have to junk that or use it for something else. I don't know. All right, so obviously the first thing in here is the double reel Patterson tank. You're definitely gonna use this. You can either develop 2 rolls of 35 or 1 roll of 120. If you don't want to have that huge of a tank in there, you can also use the Jobo Solo tank, right? So if for some reason you only shot 1 roll of film, however, you can't take both inside of this kit, right? So that's why you're going to have to pick and choose. And the smarter option is to just go with the double tank. We also have in here a couple graduated cylinders. One is a pitcher. So this is just a very inexpensive graduated pitcher with milliliters. It's important to have milliliters on it for those of you that don't know. And, you know, you can pick these up anywhere. I got this one at Hobby Lobby for like 99 cents. And then the other nice thing is this really high quality thick glass. I think this is made for baristas and pub owners. A little tiny graduated glass cylinder. It's a really nice and thick one. You know, you got to make sure it's made for the baristas. But I use this to develop my one-shot chem because I have gone back to one-shot. I started out with the monobaths, and then from monobaths, I went into D76, which I liked a lot, but it was a huge gallon jug. From there, out of necessity, I wasn't able to get D76 when that gallon got used up. So I ended up having to get X-Tol, which is another huge gallon. Went through that. I did not like the X-Tol as much as the D76. Oh, no. After the monobaths, I went with Ilfosol 3, and a lot of people were kind of throwing shade at me for using Ilfosol 3. I really liked it because it was a one-shot. I liked the idea of not having the huge gallon jug, which would the D76 and the X-Tol are both huge gallon jugs. Obviously, it doesn't work with a system like this. Obviously, when you're at the house, you don't need everything to fit in the box. But if I was going to travel, or if you're going to travel, you're definitely going to not want to take a gallon of the chems, because don't forget, you're already going to have a couple gallons of distilled water. Those obviously are not going to fit in the box, right? So because of that, you know, then you would have a 3rd gallon and it's chemicals and it's kind of loose. So I like the idea of doing the one shot, but I didn't go back to Ilfosol 3. Right now I'm doing Legacy Pro's version of HC110. So I love that because you're only going to use, for the double tank, you're only using like 15 or 16 milliliters per 500 milliliters of distilled water, right? So you're only going to, that 15 or 16 milliliters is only like right there. One shot lasts a really, really long time compared to like, however, I will say that I think out of all of them, the D76 has been my favorite. I also come to the recent realization that the best developer to use with Eastman XX, which is the film that I have 700 feet of, I guess I should be using D96? Is that what it was? Or maybe D76. So maybe that's why those looked better than the X-Tall or the 110. Anyways, so yeah, you get both of those cylinders in there. It's good to have graduated cylinders, and it's good to have the milliliters. You already saw the other things. You do have your bottle of Photo Flow. This stuff lasts forever, right? So I've been using this bottle for like over a year now, and I've only used a third of it. Photo Flow is, you use that in your final rinse, and it's good for the longevity of your film, fighting against water streaks and all that. And then in here I have the fixer. Is also a graduated cylinder, but it is also the canister that the fixer stays in. The nice thing about fixer is that it's reusable. So as long as this thing stays all the way to the top, you might have to replenish it with some distilled water, and then, time your thing out accordingly. But yes, fixer does last for 2 months. So this 1,000 milliliters here is 2 months of fixer. And these are big wide mouth, so it's not hard to, get it back in there. You don't need a funnel or anything like that, unless there is a little filter that you can put on the top that I got out of another funnel, and you can keep that in here as well, and you can even filter it and then make sure, if you're worried about that. And then the other one is for the developer, right? It's empty right now because it's a one-shot developer, but it's nice that this is graduated as well. It's labeled up. So yeah. Now, if there was one way, if you didn't want to, carry around your developer like a one-shot, or even if you like the idea of mixing it up, but you don't want to take a whole gallon, obviously you could just throw like 1,000 milliliters of either D76 or X-Tall or whatever you like to use. But then remember, you only have 1,000 milliliters of it. So if you're doing something like we were doing, 13,000 miles, and if you shoot like I shoot, that 1,000 milliliters isn't going to last you too long. Because think, this is 500 milliliters, and it's only 2 rolls of film, right? So depending on how you're using your developer, you could cut it, but then you're going to extend your development times. I usually use stock, right? I don't usually cut it. If I do, maybe sometimes I'll do 1-to-1, but still, that's 250 milliliters every time you're going to develop those 2 rolls. So realistically, even if you're cutting it 1-to-1 when you're traveling, and if you're putting in the mileage like we were, yeah, that's another reason why I say, the one shot is kind of the way to go, right? The one shot, this is 31-to-1, right? You saw like 15, 16 milliliters, something like that, per 500 milliliters. Yeah, this stuff is going to get you a very long ways. Granted, it's probably not the greatest developer when compared to something like D76, but it's only black and whites. I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? There's lots of options for you if you don't want to do it this way. But the real key is this little cheap ass box from Harbor Freight, right? But also what's nice is even when we are at the crib here, it is nice to have all of this stuff contained and then put in a little storage closet. It is nice to just have it all together. So it even works at the house too, of keeping your little kit together. When I go to develop my film, I just pull this out. Now, the thing is, because normally I am always shooting 3 rolls a day. So yeah, I am having to get other components out of the, in that case, the little Jobo solo tank has to be used, and I have to do both tanks at once, that kind of thing. But it doesn't matter, just usually what I do is keep this one outside of the box because it's so contained. Everything I need is in here. And then the Jobo one and the cylinders go back in here. I just, for the sake of the video, did it with the double reel to just show you that you could do it with the double reel if you really wanted to do van life and shoot film on the road, something like that. Which we did. We replaced the RV with a 2002 conversion van. Pretty nice one, but it's nice too because I can also use it as a production van when we're not on the road, which, I've done multiple times. I'm going to do that this upcoming weekend. It's one of the reasons why I'm making this video. Normally, if you're new here, my videos are usually street POV videos out on the street, antics and philosophicals and humorous things happening when we're out there, ripping around on the penny board, doing some gnarly street photography all over Southern California, but quite a bit in downtown Los Angeles. Anyways, we don't do too many talking head videos like this here is what I'm meaning to say. And the reason why we're doing it this time is because at the release of this video, I'm on a job, right? So I have a job coming up, about a 4-day gig on a show that I've been working on. So I just bring that up because of the van thing, right? The van is my production van when I'm on jobs. And but it also can double as travel if we ever want to do that more. Anyways, that's the kit, right? So there's links down below. I have actually a whole page on my website for like developing at home. And again, you could swap those out with color chem. You would just need to make sure and bring your thermometer with you if you're doing color chem. I also don't know how it would work with bringing like your sous vide or whatever you're heating up the water with, because that's pretty important with color film. That's one of the advantages of, traveling and having a travel lab is like if you're doing black and white, the temperature is just what it is, No, I think that's it. I don't know. I just wanted to do a little video on that because someone had literally messaged me about that because I mentioned that I had a little travel kit in my original black and white video. And so I thought, yeah, I put that in the back pocket. So it was a good time to bring that out. Check out the page on my website that kind of like has all these things itemized for you. Those are all affiliate links, of course. But, if you're a fan of the show, it's a great way to support what we do here because I do shoot a lot. And people that have been on here a while, they know that I shoot a lot. Those little helpful clicks just help replenish the film fund is really all it does. Anyways, we'll see you on the streets for the next one. Faux show.
And if you have the proper luck and the holy endurance, the gods just might deliver.